Good morning, Farlands Falcons. Welcome to
You piece of shit.
Alright, yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Free Speech or Buzz podcast. With me,
This is the
unfortunately,
gayest shit I've ever
as always, is Luke Oliver. Luke, say some shit.
Good morning.
Alright.
Robbie, say hello.
Hello.
You know what I just realized?
You're not streaming.
No, I am streaming.
No,
Here's the thing
you're
about that.
offline.
On YouTube, guess what it tells me?
What?
What?
That the stream is named like test stream, don't even watch.
Just
Which,
don't.
that's not what
Yeah,
we want. We want people to watch. So now I have to go in and change that.
Yeah, you better. I mean, I was
Yeah.
planning on sharing.
Of course I'm going to change it. It's my fucking job. Alright. So, Robbie, are we allowed to use your full name?
Sure.
Robbie
Plug all of
Hogan.
my social media.
You can do that for me while I do some shit.
Yo, go follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that gay
but
shit.
how do they find your Instagram and Twitter?
My Instagram is Bob the Rob Hogan. No spaces, no capitals. It's pretty lit. Or you can also find me at the Killer Meme page, which everyone knows we're part of. Edgy memes for edgy teens.
I'm not.
You know
part of
what?
that
I've
stupid
never-
Shit.
Yeah, Luke isn't, but I've never done like any good promotion like that for Edgy Memes, though. So I'm glad you did.
Well,
say
there. I just promoted you, and then my
that.
Twitter.
Well, you promoted
is
us
at
because we're a
Creamy.
team.
My Twitter is at creamy_spinach, and it's pretty sick.
All right. You know, I forgot to ask you something, Luke. I forgot to ask you if you did your job. Like, do you actually have some topics or questions
Yes,
for
I
Robbie
actu-
we can go over? Thank
Yes, I
goodness,
have
because
I have 2 topics and 3 questions I want to ask Robbie.
all right, you guys,
we're not-
I'm always very impressed when Luke does his job. So, you know, round
I
of applause
am
to him.
too. I'm surprised as well.
If we don't cover the zucking that occurred, then I am leaving.
That's the first thing I wanted to talk about. So I guess, Robbie, do you want to explain the situation since you are the guest? You get these privileges.
Sure, I will explain the situation. So, what was it last week?
Last
On
week.
Wednesday. What?
Last week.
Yeah, last week on Wednesday. Logan and Ted called me over to their lunch
Well,
table.
they don't know who Tad is.
Ted's my cousin and our fellow memer.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Good,
cool.
good man. God
Good
loves
man.
to have him in his country.
But they said my assignment for like initiation on edgy memes for edgy teens was to make a meme about this kid who made up a hit list as a joke at our school.
Well, why are you laughing? Look, you already know this story. This is just because this is a serious. Like, I actually there's some interesting like conversation to be had about this.
So I made one. I think the first one I made, it had Bert. It's that one meme of Dexter where he's looking at the picture of something or other on a locker and saying, "I have failed you."
No,
So I
Bert's
put-
the kid that made the hit list
Yeah.
and threatened to.
Bert's the kid that made the hit list, yeah. So I put Bert's face on Dexter's face, and then I put I put the Vegas shooter over the picture. It was communism because it was a socialism meme and it was retarded, so I edited
Yeah.
it. But-
You made it worthwhile, is what you did.
Yeah, I made it worthwhile by putting the Vegas shooter. And then I made another one. It was one of those Arthur the Aardvark book covers. And it said, originally, Arthur stands up to bullying. And I put in a little shotgun, Bert's face over Arthur's face, and I wrote, Adalbert stands up to bullying. They were pretty good.
That one was really good. But then,
personally-
I don't. Do you know? Then do you know how we got caught though?
Annie, Bert's sister, followed us that same night. And-
me and Robbie both like saw like on our phone because our phones were connected to the account. It said like Annie started following you or whatever, and so we're both like Robbie DM me. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah, but she thought they were funny, I guess, and she just showed her mom, and her mom didn't think they were so funny.
Why would you show your mom? Are you retarded?
That's a good question. I've never shown my mom a meme except for Papa Bless.
No, I've sent my mom some like effed up memes before. She's like, Logan.
My mom
You
is
sent
super
the
Christian.
NIBBA to your
So is
mom
my-
because
so
we
is
thought
my mom.
Steph
That's
was
why
doing
we get
it
good
too.
reactions out of her.
Logan,
Yeah.
remember when you sent the NIBBA to your mom
Oh my god. So
because you thought
okay.
Steph?
So Stefan Gerchik, who we've had on the podcast before, he showed me his phone where it looked like you know how you can like type in the text chat before you actually hit send. Well, he writes,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's going on, my nibba?" or something like that, and he like showed me. He's like, "I'm gonna send this to my mom." I was like, "Yeah, me too." But I actually sent like, "Hey nibba, what's up?" to my mom, like with the 2 B emojis, you know. And my mom's like,
You're an idiot.
she texts me back. She's like, "Logan, that better not mean what I think it means," and I just never responded to that. I text
Okay,
her,
but
I text her later, like, "What time you need me to, blah blah blah."
I haven't finished my story yet.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, go.
So Thursday, I'm sitting in stats listening to Mr. Jones tell us. No, we weren't even doing that. I was listening to Mason argue with himself. Mason Hildebrandt.
Oh, I thought it was Mason Baker. I was about to.
No, Mason Hildebrandt. Mason
Oh.
Hildebrandt's funny, and he just sits there and he argues with himself over the quality of communism.
So
So-
he's a communist.
Self.
No. He's
Oh,
a capitalist and like far right authoritarian,
oh, okay. So
which I don't agree with. But you know,
yeah, me neither.
he's
I'm
free to
not
believe
the
whatever he wants to. I
authoritarian
don't
shit.
give a damn.
Logan knows what I am, and he knows how much I hate that.
Luke,
But anyway.
Luke is a member of the Libertarian Party of Ohio. For crying out
Same
loud!
here.
You are too?
I am.
Shit. Before we continue, might I ask you guys both? Well, I think I sort of know what Luke feels. What do you guys feel about borders, immigration? Like,
I think that we should allow immigrants because that's what our country was built on, but we should like regulate it a lot better than we do right now.
so would you agree with, say, Donald Trump on immigration?
Yeah, I agree with him on
Okay.
immigration.
Because
For the most
that's
part,
the
yeah.
thing about
Yeah,
a
for
lot
the
of
most part.
people. A lot of libertarians will go for open borders, and a lot of people will just who aren't even necessarily would agree with most libertarians. They are just like right wing, and they say that they're libertarian. But if you look at their politics, they're basically Republican. But they say libertarian because that gives you special political brownie points. It's just like people who say they're like centrists. Most of the time, the people who say they're centrists are left wing. Liberals
Yeah.
will say they're centrist, and conservatives will say they're libertarian. I'm very honest. I'm right wing conservative, and
I mean, I'm on a political.
Libertarian. Most.
I have no idea what you just said, Luke.
Yeah, you just cut out right there.
He
Luke.
does.
Okay.
He does that all the time. He cuts out because he's really bad at his job.
Jesus Christ, get
mic.
good at this.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is Robbie's first time on the show, and he already got it.
Robbie,
done.
I'm sorry. I will do you better next time.
You better, or I'm not coming back. No, this is fun.
Yeah, this is very
I
fun.
said libertarian policies would fall under right wing.
Authoritarian policies will go under right wing.
Libertarian.
Yeah, but libertarians will also a lot of them are also going to say they're pro-choice and they're open borders, which are two things that I personally don't agree with. So.
Okay. Sorry.
I
Oh
don't-
yeah, the kid arguing with himself about communism
Okay,
that
so
Robbie
yeah.
was talking about.
The
Oh, yeah,
Mason
we were
was sitting
talking
there.
about.
So Mason was sitting there arguing with himself about communism, and I get the little white slip to come down to the office, and it says Keener's office immediately, and I'm just like,
Yeah, I got that same thing in Miss Johnson. Well, what happened?
I was just-
well, I guess I should say this part. I was in choir, and I'm singing and I'm dancing. Then Mr. Lorenzo Reyna comes in. Me and Jay Was 22 are standing right next to each other. We look at Mr. Reyna. We're all distracted and stuff because he's such a sexy Mexican man. And Miss Johnson's like, guys, focus. And then he goes, oh, hey, sir, how you doing? And Lorenzo hands her the slip, and she goes, Logan Ramsey, down to the office immediately. Like, she is having fun, way too much fun with it, I think. And so I go and I take it, and I'm like, Lorenzo, I don't know where this is. You have to take me there. And he's like, well, that's my job. And I'm like, what are you, my babysitter? And he laughs. So he takes me down to Keener's office, who's our assistant principal. I've had run-ins with her before about my behavior and my language and shit like that. So
Don't die, Logan.
She goes. So when I get in there, it's just me and her, and he mentioned earlier Annie told her mom. Well, her mom called the school using my name. So she said Logan Ramsey made all these memes and stuff. So I go down there and she goes, "Well, I'm sure. Well, are you aware that you have an Instagram?" I'm like, "No, I don't have an Instagram." And she like looks at me all funny. She's like, "I'm part of an Instagram that's run by multiple people." And she goes,
You bastard! You sold me out.
"Well, I was thinking we could all like get down there as a big group and fight the system or something like that." So she's like, "Well, who are these people?" And I say, "Tad and Robbie." And so she calls you guys down, and as soon as you guys get
You
there,
threw them under the bus, Logan, and I enjoy doing that.
and she's like, "So who made the pictures?" And then Robbie,
let me tell the story because
all right.
that's why I'm here. Okay, so anyway, Mason's arguing with himself, and I get the thing, and it's like, well, what the hell did I do? So I'm walking down there, and I'm thinking it's something to do with this girl that I asked out, and then she flipped out on me. But that's another story that I don't want to tell.
We're gonna get into that later, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, but anyway, so I'm walking down there, and I turn the corner to go into Keener's office, and I see Logan sitting there, and in my head, I'm like, shit, we're busted. I just see Logan sitting there slouched over. It's just like, oh, damn it.
I sort of looked at him like, eh. It's like, we're
Mr.
boned.
Ghoulish was excited that Bert was back. He was laughing when he saw him.
He was laughing.
I wonder if Mr. Ghoulish saw
God.
the memes.
Dude, you know he did. You know his students showed him the memes.
Those are great.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so the one with the Vegas shooter comes up on Keener's screen. She's who made the one with Harvey Weinstein? And Logan could have just left it there and left it at Harvey Weinstein, and I probably would have gotten a regular detention. And he's just like, no, that's the Vegas shooter. And he's just
I'm just too good of a man. I'm like, no, actually what happened was I was like, I don't think we did anything with Harvey Weinstein. And she goes, well, there's this guy, and I'm like, well, show me the memes. Let me look. I'm like, let me look at your computer. Let me
also,
see what you're talking about.
This lady, this hold on, hold up, Logan.
Okay,
hold up.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
But so she's like old. I don't know how old, but she's not young enough to say
Keener?
meme. Yeah, Keener is not young enough to say meme correctly, but she said meme correctly. And I think we all laughed a little inside.
I was holding it back like, oh my god, this is too good of a meme.
That's what okay, I understand that now. The one of us sitting there and it says meme. I understand it.
That's what it was about because I couldn't believe it. What he's talking about is afterwards I made like a bunch of memes about the situation. One
was hilarious.
One, I took like a picture from the Apprentice, and I put me, Tad, and Robbie's face on it, and I just wrote like in big bold yellow text meme at the bottom.
But anyway, I took credit for him, and I got a Wednesday school, and I just served that, and it was bearable because I had Mr. Miller, and he was chill.
Joe Miller?
Yeah, the big Joe Miller.
You know what? That guy, I don't know if I told you this. I know I've told Luke, but I found out that guy like knows my Uncle Bill, my Uncle Rich, because I'm on Facebook and I see my Uncle Bill posted something about Obamacare. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. And I'm reading it, and like he gets into a debate with Joe Miller about it, because Joe Miller's on the city council, the city Amherst, and all that shit. And so I look at it, and Uncle Bill he makes this point, and Joe Miller just goes, "Well, I'm sorry you feel that way." I wanted to write like, what the fuck was that? But
Why didn't you? No balls.
No balls. No balls.
That would have been hilarious. That William made a meme like that actually like used Keener's face in it.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that was a
Like,
good one. That was
the
a good one.
SpongeBob one that pointed to like the thing that said delete this.
That
yeah,
wasn't SpongeBob. That was Simpsons.
Oh, Simpsons, yeah.
Get your facts straight. Jesus Christ.
No, I'm sorry. I apologize. They were yellow. They're yellow. It's just like SpongeBob's yellow. So, you know.
Good point. Good point.
And just like SpongeBob, The Simpsons hasn't been good in a couple years, maybe more than that. I know we all have conflicting opinions on it. Old school Simpsons is still like the best TV of all time, though.
You're not wrong.
I don't think anyone can disagree with that. Seasons 1 through 10 of The Simpsons, if it just like stuck to that, The Simpsons would probably be the greatest show of all time. But now The Simpsons is just the greatest show of all time, but slightly lower on the totem pole than it would have been.
Yeah. No. Rick and Morty is the greatest TV show of all time.
God, I swear to God.
I've seen
Pickle
one episode
Rick!
and I actually
Shut up.
liked it. It's not as
You
bad
better
as
be
I thought it was
being
gonna be.
ironic right now, or I might have to drive down to Miller
I
Orchard
fucking
and
hate
shoot
Rick
you.
and Morty. I fucking hate Rick and Morty. It's so stupid.
It's such a retarded show. What's even worse, okay, if it was just a bad show, I could be able to just look at it and say that show sucks. Like, there's tons of TV shows that suck. One that comes to mind is that fucking like Parent show. Jesus Christ, what's that?
There's like
Parenthood.
90 of those. What the fuck?
That fucking
Yeah, what the
show
hell are you
on,
talking
on NBC, Parenthood. You seen that show? It's retarded. It's for
I don't watch TV.
I mean, TV is, you know, the only TV I
love
watch is
Last Man
CRTV.
Standing.
I
Okay, boys.
actually hear
Go-
that was a good show.
Go buy your mug club. $99 annually, $69 for veterans and students.
Use code student if you're a student, active military, or veteran. You get $30 or $20 off, or whatever. Yeah. By the way,
I think it's 69 for those.
It's 69 for students, veterans, and active military. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 100 minus 70, that would give us 30. So yeah, $30 off. If you use those
That's a
codes.
good deal.
Yeah. By the way, I think we should mention this. Major shout out goes to Luke Oliver for letting me and Robbie freeload off of his CRTV membership.
Well, okay, yeah. You both are paying $4.
He's giving us.
We're
$4
basically
a month.
paying for it because it's only like,
We
what,
basically get it half off.
Basically.
Yeah, but yeah, it's still good.
Okay, guys.
What have you guys been watching it?
I'm saving it for tonight to just binge watch it.
What's the one comedian's name that they have on Louder with Crowder all the time?
Owen Benjamin.
Yeah, him. That's what I'm going to be to this show now.
The Owen Benjamin.
Like every 2 weeks, I'm just gonna.
I've been watching Get Off My Lawn with Gavin McInnes. Been watching Louder with Crowder. Been watching both those shows like every day since Luke gave me his membership. They're awesome. That Phil Roberts, a guy from Duck Dynasty or whatever, he's got a show coming out, right?
Yeah, In the Woods with Phil.
In the Woods with Phil. That show looks actually good too.
It does.
So, yeah,
Okay,
I
guys.
definitely have to check that out.
To bring the focus around to a topic.
And that
That
topic
we're all
should
gonna call-
that topic should be the girl Robbie asked out. 'Cause
Okay, yeah.
I didn't forget.
My topic comes next.
Okay.
Give us
So-
the lowdown, whatever the fuck it's called.
So first day of school and fast, I sit down in my seat in Moyer, where I sit in chemistry, which is like farthest back in the back corner by the chemical room. And then in walks this redheaded girl with glasses, and she sits down, and I'm like, holy crap, that girl is super cute. I'm gonna do my best.
You thought super cute in your head, or did you think super hot or banging?
I thought-
something like that.
I thought, wow, she's really attractive, more so than every other girl at Firelands.
Yeah,
And,
Luke is dating a girl he met on the internet.
Oh, and I've actually met her, Logan. I've
Wait,
actually met her.
When? All right,
Like-
Robbie, tell your story, then Luke, tell your story.
Okay,
It's fascinating.
okay.
Absolutely fascinating.
So fast forward to homecoming week, that Monday, Abby Berry cornered me and her in the room just at the end of fast, and she was like, Robbie has a question for you. And I was just
oh my
like,
God, I'd be fucking pissed.
well, shit, gotta do it. So I was like, hey, I was wondering if you'd like to go out to a movie or something. And she said, sure. And I said, so it's a date? And she said, sure. And then that week slowly devolved into hell.
Mm.
What week was that?
That was the week,
Pay
homecoming
attention.
week.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, Luke, pay attention.
I'm asking the specifics here, like what week.
I already said specific. I don't remember what day it was.
Homecoming, the week before homecoming, which was on a Saturday.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
I have that pulled up right now on my calendar.
Why does it need?
I think it was like September 17th or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's some.
That was a Sunday.
I don't. Then it was the
No
day
one
after
cares.
that. I don't know.
No one cares. Shut
No one
up.
cares about
Why
exact
are
dates.
you asking these questions, Luke?
But then,
Because I need specifics.
No, you
Logan.
don't.
I do.
but anyway,
You just heard me ask the damn question, didn't you?
God.
anyway, Tuesday night, I get a text from her and it says, "Hey yo, just got out. I don't think a date is a good idea for me right now. I just got out of a bad relationship and I'm trying to build myself up and taking time to myself." And I said, "Okay, that's understandable. I had the same thing because I dated a psycho for 9 months and that took a little while to get over. About a year actually, but so then that Friday at the pep rally, she seemed really uncomfortable around me, and I said, and I didn't get a chance to say this to her at the pep rally, because she ran away before I could get a chance to.
Oh my God.
So I said to her, "Hey, I was just wondering if I, did anything wrong. You seemed kind of uncomfortable around me." And she said, "It's none of your business, but it's not you." I said, "I'm sorry if I offended you. I didn't mean to pry." And then she blocked me.
Damn.
And I think a scorned possible lover of my ex-girlfriend of mine, she wasn't ever my girlfriend, but she was a possibility, might have had her finger in this.
I know what you mean by that.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You got me. Yeah.
I got you.
Because they seem to be friends, and she's done the same thing with another girl who was just my friend before, but it's not cool.
That's hard. That sucks.
Yeah, that's why Luke goes on Tumblr, fucking 4 and 10 pals for teenagers.
All right, Logan. Let me explain myself for that.
Okay.
One.
Right, what this is right now, this is a press conference. Remember when Milo had his press conference for the fucking blowing little kids thing or whatever?
Yeah,
he got in trouble
Milo
for?
is
This
little
is the
kids.
equivalent of that for you, Luke. It is time for you to be a man.
Confess
and own
your
up
sins,
to
damn
what
it.
you've done, which is go on
There
Tumblr,
is no sin.
to
I go
Team
on
Pen
and meet
Pals.
people from different countries and talk to
Yes,
them. They're
but
not
you-
all girls, Logan. It's like a 50-50 ratio.
Luke just wants to get nudes from exotic ladies. We all know it.
Logan, look who's talking. Look who's talking.
Okay.
Do I need...
Hey, at least I'm honest, all right?
It took me 6 hours on Chat2S to get like 20 pictures.
Yeah, but you were
Or,
also
like-
you were also on the teenage chat OS. I was on the adult one because I'm a
Yeah.
gentleman.
He's a gentleman.
Logan, that's not. They could get arrested for that.
You think you're gonna get in trouble for asking underage girls for nudes, Luke? Are you retarded?
I never asked for nudes.
What about that titty pic you sent me? That one chick.
That was a girl 18 who was in the chat.
Whatever.
Apparently, everybody in the adult.
Anyways,
chat
you
is
said who
criminal.
gives a fuck? I don't even really care that much. I just like you.
Okay.
You.
Let's go to the the thing that we were going to talk about, the topic.
Okay.
Well, wait. Might I put up a finger? Luke, you mentioned that this girl Franny, right? That's the French girl you met.
Franny.
No.
What's her name?
Logan, she's in Ohio, you dumbass.
Okay, whatever. You said that you met her in real life.
Yes.
Where? And tell me the story.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, tell us the story.
It
Luke.
was basically this. This was before we're dating, and it was at the Spitzer Marina in Lorraine. Since it was just
It was at the
Your
Spitzer
friend.
Chrysler auto dealer.
no.
Just a joke.
So basically, since the Logan, can I tell the story without
Yes.
you interrupting?
I was just making
No,
a
you
joke.
cannot. You're not allowed to tell this story, Luke.
Okay, Robbie said I'm not allowed to tell.
But I command you to. So,
Ooh,
who do I?
that,
Robbie, tell him he's
This
allowed to tell
comes
the
down
story.
to who do I
you're
like?
allowed to tell the story.
Plus, Logan's my employer, and if he ever makes money, I get some. Okay, on with the story. So basically,
If I ever make money.
nothing really interesting happened there
No, he totally got.
because we were just friends during the time.
He got to
No, we
suck.
didn't. So
Luke,
basically,
you got a hand job in the bathroom.
He got a sad over the pants hand job under the picnic table.
Oh,
so basically,
over
is
the
it like
pants.
basically last Thursday she texted me like I'm not even the one who asked her out because she was going through all this shit that which I am not allowed to tell
Okay. I don't expect
for
you to.
confidentiality.
Yeah.
And 4 days later, after saying okay, we'll go out, she basically texts me and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. I'm afraid to be happy.
What the?
Okay, Luke.
I have
are
the
you sure
messages
she's
right here,
not a
Logan.
retarded emo?
Luke, dip out of that. She's too edgy for you.
Luke, that's way too edgy.
Trust me, I know, and I dipped out. I'm like,
So you're
I'm
no
like,
longer because she followed me on Twitter.
okay, yeah.
She did, and I was gonna follow back, but then I was like, why would I do that? So I did not follow her back.
Okay. So can I get to my other topic
Yeah.
now?
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the,
We
the
can.
thing that we planned out for this episode, yeah, we can finally get to that. It's only about half an hour in.
Oh, really?
Yes.
26
Holy
minutes.
shit. Okay.
So guys, how do you feel about California legalizing a third gender option, non-binary?
I think it's autistic.
Yeah, this is just retarded. You know the worst thing, California. Did you hear they made it legal to knowingly infect someone with HIV?
That is also like super dumb and
There's a
that is
reason that was illegal in the first place.
because it kills people. Like Jesus Christ, what?
Well, in 1980, if you were gay, yeah, it'd probably kill you.
But now it probably just burns a lot, and it'll extend your
They got
treatment
all
will
sorts of
extend your life
treatments
by
for
what,
it
20
nowadays,
years?
right? But the thing is that there's a reason that there is disclosure laws. It's to protect the health of people. But you know what? It's too offensive nowadays to keep people healthy. So we have to
Exactly.
legalize marijuana all you want, California. I couldn't care less. Legalize.
See, I have a plan for legalizing marijuana, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good one.
All right, what's
You
your
legalize it and tax it like it's alcohol or cigarettes or some shit,
Yes.
and you make
Exactly.
money on it.
The government could. The thing is, there are people that would make a killing from the legalization of marijuana, but there are people that would lose a lot of money from the legalization of marijuana.
Like dealers.
The prison. No, not dealers, Luke. The prison system.
Yeah, dealers
exactly.
would
That would
lose
lose-
money.
Shut up.
Logan.
That would
Luke.
cut-
Shut up, Luke. You're wrong. No, I'm
That-
kidding.
They would lose
legalizing-
it.
Legalizing marijuana would cut the prison population in half throughout the country.
I don't know. No, not even just. I don't know the exact statistic, but most people in prison in the United States. That's what people make fun of the United States a lot because we have one of the highest incarceration rates. But the thing is, most of those people are in for drug related offenses. That means possession, dealing, or you shot a guy and stole his crack.
Don't make fun of my family's pastime.
Yeah. My family's pastime is just falling out of your chair due to too much moonshine. But the thing, the unions for the correctional officers and all sorts of, there's privately owned prisons and stuff like that. All those guys, they're gonna lose a lot.
Yeah.
If this happens.
See, I don't like unions, so I would fully support that.
Yeah. The thing, I feel like every state, there was that whole debate about right to work states. I think, everyone across the country should have the right to work with or without a union.
Yeah.
But as someone who comes from a family of business owners and is technically a business owner, very unsuccessful business owner, but a business owner nonetheless, I am not pro-union. Like, for instance, if Luke were to be in the union and
he'd probably fire me.
And he went on strike and started demanding higher wages, that'd really piss me off, Luke. So
Well, let me rephrase what I said before, because I support what unions were made to combat. Because, like, in the Industrial
Yeah.
Revolution, that was bad. I wouldn't want to be getting cancer and all that crap for a penny a day, you know.
Hmm.
But that doesn't happen anymore because there's laws against that, and there's no need for unions anymore.
Yeah. Well, the teachers union, which is a union. Here's the thing about education.
The teachers union, which is a union.
No, here's the thing about education. Public education and college level education too, because with the amount of government subsidies that colleges see, they're basically like way a lot more than just a percentage of a professor's paycheck comes from the government.
Yeah.
These people, that their duty is to teach, right? They're to make they're to make the youth smart and think a little, right?
Yeah.
All these people are paid by the government, and they all have, which wouldn't be a problem, but because police officers are all paid by the government too, and
Yeah.
they have there's Republican police officers, Democrat police officers, but there is such an overwhelming majority of teachers that all think the same way. It's something to look at, and these people, while being paid by the government, contribute to the government a lot more than people realize, because the teachers union, which most teachers are a part of,
You have to be a part of the teachers union to get hired anywhere.
basically, they're the most influential union of
in this country.
of almost any union when it comes to politics and government.
Yeah.
The truckers union, while being the biggest union in the United States, they're not. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of people a part of that who are lobbyists and shit like that.
They used to be a lot more influential than they are now.
Yeah, the teachers union is the one that ought to be looked at most.
Yeah.
I don't have all. There's a laundry list of articles and data and statistics you can read about this, but it's something to think about.
Exactly.
Just my take on it. Weren't we talking about something?
California.
Yeah.
And the third gender.
The third gender.
The third gender, yeah.
Is that
The third world state.
Is that you calling California the third gender?
That's what this live stream should be called.
It's actually just called Robbie Hogan in all caps. Free speech. Number 8. Actually, I think it's number 7. It should be number 8. I'm really bad at this, apparently.
You should get good at your job.
I really should.
And he's bitching about me.
Yep. Oh my God,
Yeah.
Chuck Latto commented, Bert Tenorio was a prize student of mine. It's a shame that he said he would do such a horrible thing. Reminds me, there are a lot of very attractive girls in my classroom sometimes as well. While I do enjoy this podcast, I must say that the vulgar language is a little over the top, I'll say.
Hey, quit making fun of Chuck Latto. I'm related to him.
No.
Really?
Well, because he commented on this podcast. So.
Oh, dude. Hi, Chuck Latto.
Sup, Chuck? Fun fact, he actually is now called Charlene Latto, because according to Twitter, he DM'd me on Twitter. He says I'm now Charlene Latto, and she whatever says she wants to be on the podcast. So you know how that is.
Use their proper pronouns of Z and Zer.
These people, just a lot of retarded people nowadays, dude.
Oh, you know it.
Or Luke, does that wrap up what you were gonna say? Because me and Robbie, if you were listening to the first, the past half hour of this podcast, while we may seem like joking,
We actually
goofing,
want this to be
gaffing,
serious.
laughing, buddies, we actually do have some beef to settle, don't we, Robbie?
What?
We have some beef. To
Oh,
settle.
yeah. Yeah, we do.
Who's this beef? Tell me more. Who's this beef
It's
with?
not who's this.
Logan
beef?
is an uncultured piece of swine.
Me and Robbie have something that needs to be discussed.
Oh yeah.
All right.
And I will be the deciding factor on who wins
Luke,
the argument.
Luke will be the moderator of this debate.
I don't trust Luke.
I will be okay, guys. I promise I'll be fair and actually, moderating and being the final judgment of who wins this debate.
So Robbie, you put on Twitter a while back that, and you did one of those black lady things where every word is in all caps and in between one of those clapping emojis.
Yeah.
You wrote, "Jazz is the most dominant form of music."
I said, "Jazz is the dominant music genre, no questions asked," or something along those lines.
And
I didn't have to I'm not going to say
I
anything.
listed.
See, I already don't trust Luke because of that half a comment that he just made.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Let me go into because I responded to that with what I believe to be 4 music genres that are superior to jazz. So
Now,
let me
Logan,
just
notice
scroll
how he
through my
said.
Twitter.
I'll go through Robbie's Twitter as well.
No, I'm going through my Twitter, Luke.
I can go through my own Twitter. I have my phone right here. I'm not completely inept.
All right.
Yeah, jazz is the dominant music genre in the discussion, and Logan said, "Logan, you never said anything."
No, I did. I responded to him with a list of music genres better than jazz in no particular order.
I don't see them.
Well, I'm looking at it right now, so you must be fucking up.
What did you do with it? It's not there anymore.
I'm looking at it right now.
Me?
It's not there, Logan.
It's not there.
It's literally right here.
Logan, it's not there.
I'm literally gonna copy the link to this tweet and put it in the live chat.
Did you retweet it and do that?
No, I did not quote your tweet. I just replied to it. Look at that. I said hard rock, classic country, reggae, dancehall, and punk rock. Just 4 music genres off the top of my head that I would consider to be better than jazz.
Okay, I can list. I can number off which one of your list was influenced by jazz.
Okay.
Top of the list, hard rock. That's one of them that was influenced by jazz. Second on the list of the ones that were influenced by jazz is reggae dancehall.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure about dancehall, but reggae definitely was. And the third of the list is punk rock. Now, country wasn't because country's... No, this is the list of things that... list of genres that were influenced by jazz. Now, country is its own thing, and it's been its own thing since before jazz was around, so I can't include that.
I actually have a contrary to that. You all these genres you say sprout from jazz, right? Well,
they do.
That is something that is more closely associated with blues. The blues, I believe, rather than jazz, is the genre that most the genres I mentioned. I believe most of those are a lot more influenced by the blues, especially country and rock.
The blues are jazz. I don't know how you would say that, but that's
when I think
they
of
are.
Jazz, I think of saxophones and shit.
Well, early jazz bands, because they were all retarded, only knew how to play the 12-bar blues scale, and not scale, but they played the 12-bar blues. So
you're saying jazz comes from blues?
No, blues is jazz. The main scale that jazz musicians use is the blues scale.
So wouldn't that be them deriving that from the blues?
You know what, Logan? No, because no, the blues are okay. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
They did have roots in blues and ragtime. So I'll give that to you.
So according to your logic, that because supposedly jazz comes first, wouldn't that make the blues the dominant genre? Which I don't think so. I don't think so because I think the logic that you're using to justify your argument.
But listen
is not good.
Basically. I'm gonna be a libtard for a second.
Okay.
jazz is better because it's more vast. There's a subgenre of jazz for everybody. Like if you look into jazz, you will find something that you like.
So basically, jazz has something for anybody.
Well, you can say that about rock and roll. There's hard rock, punk rock, contemporary rock, progressive rock. Here's the thing. All right. If you look at the list of the 20 best-selling albums of all time, on it you will find 4 hard rock albums, 2 country albums, but how many jazz albums? 0.
Hold on.
Jazz albums, even on
let me look
list.
at this.
I believe there's like 2 Zeppelin albums and 2 Garth Brooks albums, and I think
He uses auto-tune.
I think a Guns N' Roses album and something else. The highest selling jazz album of all time, which was Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, it only sold around 4 million copies. And if you look at the Grammy,
Billy Joel,
listen,
23 million.
What?
Billy Joel is
that's
Billy Joel's greatest hits.
2 weeks ago, I
5.
looked up a web page that said Miles
Oh,
Davis
you looked up something on the internet. That
Miles
means it's
Davis
true.
is Kind of Blue, which is the highest selling jazz record of all time, sold 4 million copies. But here's okay. Maybe I'll give you that one because I don't. Because maybe you're right. But if you look at the Grammy Awards list of most popular,
That's what I'm looking at.
the Grammy Awards list, the most popular genres, jazz is not even on the list.
That's because people are stupid and don't understand jazz because they listen to Kenny, whatever the hell his name is.
Kenny, whatever the hell his name is.
Kenny G.
Kenny G. Wasn't that guy in SpongeBob?
Probably. He plays the saxophone.
Yeah, I saw him on SpongeBob.
Because, see, people look up... When people think of jazz, they think of, like, smooth jazz and, like, the very saxophony...
So what is your jazz, Robbie?
My preferred type of jazz is big band jazz. But then there's also bebop and Afro-Cuban, and there's smooth jazz. Reggae is technically jazz.
I thought reggae was its own thing.
Reggae derives from ska, which is a subgenre of jazz. There's jazz rock fusion groups like Weather or something or other. I can't think of their name. What Weather? Shit. Hold on. Where'd Luke go? Oh, he's back.
I'm back.
Luke,
I was
where did you go?
For like 5 seconds of big band jazz. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
And I have to say, I actually, but it's not gonna influence my opinion.
You actually what?
Like this kind of jazz, but it's not gonna.
Listen to Led Zeppelin Kashmir. Listen to that song right now.
Kashmir.
Weather Report. Weather Report is a very good jazz rock group. That's the name that I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of them. They're leaving my head. There's progressive jazz, which is like heavier. What?
Be quiet for a minute. Let me listen to like good 20 seconds.
Okay.
All right. Let's let Luke appreciate this music. This is kind of boring.
It is.
Okay.
Luke should just turn off his headphones and listen to.
Yeah, I don't know why he doesn't just do that.
Jesus, Luke, why didn't you just do that?
Oh, because I didn't want you to possibly throw a hissy fit again. Okay. I like the jazz better.
Roast!
What? Led Zeppelin's Kashmir is one of the greatest songs of all time. And
Not in my book,
and you're over
Logan.
here saying that big band jazz is better. Oh my god, give me a break. Well, here's the thing. What we're on right now is a subjective argument.
You're right.
So what we need to do is look at it from.
We need to look at it from the free speech.
We need to look at it from an objective standpoint. How can we do that with music? Well, the best indicator, in my opinion, would probably be economically. Economically, jazz is not the most dominant music. That actually belongs to hard rock. hard rock is the most dominant music if you look at it from an economic standpoint.
But see, listen to this. There's a saying out there among jazz musicians, and it's kind of one of those stupid, corny jokes that everyone says. When you play rock or pop, you play 3 chords in front of 3 million people. But when you play jazz, you play 3 million notes in front of 3 people. It's because people don't appreciate it, and it upsets me.
Yeah.
Tears.
But the only way to debate, to have this debate is because music is mostly subjective. So we have to try and find a way to quantify it into data and statistics so we can look at it from an objective standpoint. The best way to do that would be to look at it from an economic standpoint.
There's a possibility why jazz never did as well economically as...
Why is that, Luke?
It did in its heyday.
Enough. Like, let's... Who are you gonna... What kind of teen's gonna buy... let's be honest here. What kind of teen's gonna buy a big band?
They're not gonna buy a big band, but they might buy Miles Davis or Dizzy Gillespie or something like that because they're hipsters.
But you know how many kids I see walking around Firelands High School with a Led Zeppelin T-shirt on, or a Tom Petty shirt, or a Rolling Stone shirt?
Half of those kids.
Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin.
It's Led Zeppelin.
Don't give me shit for mispronouncing it for a minute. Let's continue with the debate. I've corrected myself. Anyway, I said Led Zeppelin.
Half of those kids own Led Zeppelin shirts because they were on sale at Hot Topic or something like that.
Unfortunately, that might actually be true.
It's 100% true, and you know it.
Okay, well then half of them. But there's the other half that wear a Led Zeppelin shirt because they listen to Zeppelin. I've seen 0 kids walking around with a Miles Davis T-shirt on.
Because why would they do that? There's no shirts for that.
Who makes a Miles Davis T-shirt?
And why isn't there a shirt for that? Because there isn't a market for that. Because it's not as economically prosperous as a genre such as hard rock.
But see, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. I'm completely right.
Jazz is so great.
No. You may listen to it and think it's best. Like, for instance, I think the Romeo and Juliet movie made by Figures Pictures is the best Romeo and Juliet movie.
But if you look at it from an economic standpoint...
Yeah, but if you look at it from an economic standpoint, it didn't do as well as some of the other Romeo and Juliet movies.
As well? Logan, it probably didn't even make $1.
What?
It didn't.
Okay, who made this thing?
Me.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying is, from an economic standpoint, yes, the other Romeo and Juliet movies are better than mine. But also from that, hard rock is a better genre than jazz. That's the only way. The only way to have a factual debate about this topic is if we look at it from that. There's really no other way.
Or how about we take the free speech or bust look at it and say, hey, you have an opinion that's different from mine. Aw, darn.
No. With free speech, wouldn't you want to hash out your different ideas?
I really would rather just listen to Jerry Mulligan and get on with my day.
All right, folks. Well, I hope you don't think that me and Robbie secretly hate each other after that. Because,
no, I hate you. I hate you with a burning passion. I hate you with all of it.
He hates me a lot, but I'm still trying to get with him. With that being said...
Luke, that was a good joke, Logan.
Luke, what's the next topic?
Yeah.
Okay, my next topic was gonna be everybody is debating about right now. Donald Trump's phone call with the widow.
What?
I haven't had enough time to check that out yet.
Wait. Explain this for me, because you just said what everyone's talking about.
I know
right
what
now,
it is. It was. Let me say what I know about it, and you can fact check me, Luke. But there was a veteran who died, I think, in Iraq or Afghanistan.
Died.
What?
Who died?
He died, Luke. He died.
I said he died.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I said he had died in Afghanistan or Iraq or something, and Donald Trump called the widow. It was like, hey, he was a good guy. Something like that.
And everybody's claiming that he was insensitive about it.
What was he supposed to do? Let me look this up.
From the quote that I read, nothing was insensitive. Nothing insensitive was said. It just said, "Tell your kids
So is there like a transcript of this online?
There's no recording of the phone call.
There's no recording, but is there like a transcript of it that we can read?
I don't think so. Like the only
it's all just hearsay at this point. Then.
Yeah. The only people who heard the phone call was the widow, Trump, and some people who were in the room with Trump at the time.
So yeah, it's all just hearsay, so nothing can be truly debated about it. But I think what he did wasn't bad.
Yeah, how is him reaching out to the widow of this guy
Apparently
who died bad?
Apparently he said the wrong thing.
But what was he? Okay, what was he supposed to say though?
From what I read, he said, you "Tell your kids your dad was a hero and that he loved them." I don't see how that's insensitive in the slightest.
Yeah, what else is he supposed to?
You guys must be.
What is he supposed to do? Be like, and for your troubles, I'll give you $1 million bucks. Like, is that what he's supposed to do?
He should pull a Rush Limbaugh and send him a whole bunch of free Apple stuff.
What is this? Rush Limbaugh sells gives him a bunch of Apple stuff. What is that?
Oh, have you never listened to the Rush Limbaugh show on
I haven't.
The radio?
I have. I hear, according to Rush Limbaugh, it's the top radio show in the nation.
Oh yeah, it's totally. I hate it with a passion. He's so repugnant, and I'm pretty Republican myself.
I've read some of his children's books.
But like,
I'm not joking. He has a book series called Rush Revere.
Yeah, I know the Rush Revere books.
Have you read those books?
I haven't read them, but
I read them when I was younger. I really liked them. Nowadays, if I read them, they'd probably be retarded though.
I hear they're actually pretty accurate and like not super.
No, historically accurate. Yeah,
yeah, they're super historically.
There's a lot
accurate.
of good history in it, but it's like the story around it, like the main characters are centered for like little like younger kids.
Yeah.
So wait, what was it called again, Logan?
Rush Revere.
Oh, I remember those.
You remember those? I read those. Chris's little sister read them. For a young kid, honestly, who's interested in history, they're good. They're great for that. They're great for that. If you're an adult, probably not what I would recommend for you. I recommend something like one of Bill O'Reilly's books.
Yeah,
those are fantastic, by the way. Have you read the Abraham Lincoln one?
I haven't read any Bill O'Reilly's books yet. I really haven't read much lately because I worked all summer and I just didn't have time.
I don't have time to read anymore. Like I'm into Ann Coulter's Book of Treason right now. I'm like fucking 26 pages in. I have no time because I'm too busy doing podcasts like this.
But anyway, back to Rush. Like he has his little kid call it. Like a parent has their little kid call in because they read the Rush Revere books and they listened to this show from I think it's 12 to 3 weekdays. I think it's 12 to 3 or it's 1 to 3. It's one of the two. Yeah, it's 12 to 3 on weekdays, and they call in on Open Lines America Friday. And it's like, Rush says, "How old are you?" "I'm 12. "Oh, well, I'm going to send you a complete set of my books and a free iPad."
What I was about to say, that's what Rush Limbaugh ought to done, is just send her a bunch of his books. But no, he actually gave her an iPad too?
Yeah, he gives all the little kids an iPad.
I'm going to call him. And then I'm gonna on camera destroy the iPad as a meme. I'm gonna go on Skype and like record my phone call with him and be like, "All right, guys, we just tricked Rush Limbaugh into sending me all of his books and an iPad. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this sledgehammer and I'm gonna smash it once."
Logan, you would probably be sued. You would be sued.
Yeah, you would be sued.
That is not a suable offense.
That's fraud.
Smashing an iPad that Rush Limbaugh gave you.
I'm pretty sure that's a form of fraud.
Be like, Judge, Rush Limbaugh sent me this iPad when I called into his radio show. Just be like, aliens, get out of here. This is stupid.
Oh yeah, Logan. Robbie, I forgot to declare the winner of the debate, and the winner is Logan, even though I like Jazz better.
You know what?
What makes you think I was the winner? Because I actually showed up with some facts and statistics. I prepared for it like an adult.
You know what? I'll give you that because I completely forgot to research anything for this because I forgot it was today until lunch when Luke was like, "Hey, is it good? Are we doing the podcast tonight?" And I was just like, "When are we doing the podcast?" And I was like, "Friday night." He's like, "So tonight?"
So
Oh,
tonight, Luke?
No,
Luke,
no.
literally-
He was the one who told me. He asked me, and I said, "Yeah, we're doing it Friday night, 7." And he said, "So tonight at 7?"
He's like, Robbie's like, oh shit.
It's like, oh shit.
We had 2 weeks to prepare.
I did.
Folks, if you don't, we should have probably said that at the beginning. Like last week, we were gonna have Robbie on. We had him on like at the beginning. Like we booked him for that week. It was gonna be great. We even tweeted about it. Fucker goes up and breaks his ankle or some bullshit. So we have Taco Tortoise call in, and 45
That
minutes
was
in,
actually,
his phone dies.
although that podcast was a train wreck, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one you probably should check out just because it's just interesting. But this is the podcast I was very excited to have because I feel like this is the first time we're ever gonna be able to have an actual discussion with someone other than just me and Luke. When we had Stefan on, he'd just be like fucking Jews and shit like that. But you're actually engaging, So I appreciate you coming on.
This I don't think this is gonna be the. No, miss me with that. Day.
What about me, Robbie? What about me?
Yeah, Luke, you can do that all you want. But I don't think this will be the last time I'm on either because this is really fun.
This is great.
No.
Make
Robbie said when Logan was gone, I want Robbie on every 2 weeks.
That's a good idea.
All right.
I'd be down for that. But anyway,
this is terrific.
Yeah, you guys just booked your first regular guest.
Awesome, Luke, we did it. We're finally in the big leagues.
Especially
Robbie
next
Hogan.
week with Billy.
Oh, Billy, I don't. You see,
You're scared.
I'm not scared of this. I
You
just
don't know him.
I don't know anything about this guy.
Who's Billy?
Ask.
Remember the dude who I said?
Don't
remember the dude who I.
Does Robbie remember?
Oh, true.
Yeah,
Actually, I told Robbie. I told Robbie about him.
Okay. Well,
Logan, you're gone.
He just says no. He just said you didn't tell him.
Yes, I did. The dude who has like tons of followers and is actually a good person.
Oh, that dude. Yeah, he has like a sick meme page on Facebook. He never said his name was Billy.
Oh, I didn't. I'm sorry.
No, he just said next week we're gonna have this big dude who has like 4 million likes and stuff on his.
I never said 4 million. I said like almost 50,000.
I don't care,
dude. We're gonna need him to put some of his stuff on his page. I'm gonna have to be like, I'm gonna have to send this guy some links. Be like, yo, like post this.
Make it a meme.
Like post this.
He runs a meme page.
Post this and say, found this wicked good meme.
People like listen to the entirety of the podcast and be like, "Did we just get clickbaited?"
Okay, guys, what are we gonna talk about now? Or do you guys want to?
Isn't it our job to come up with shit to talk about, Luke?
Oh yeah, the 4 questions that I said I was gonna ask Robbie.
Yeah.
State your name, your age, and your profession, please.
My...
Luke, that's 3 questions.
We're gonna need your credit card info as well.
Okay, you said you had 4 questions for Robbie. 3 of those were for him, and the other was for me. I don't have a credit card, Luke.
No,
you think I do?
No, those weren't questions. Those weren't questions. So we're just like introduce yourself.
You're just data mining right now.
Okay, hi. My name's Robbie. I've been off the sauce for 2 years. Is that too insensitive?
No.
Yeah, my name's Robbie Hogan. Howdy. I'm 17. Go to Firelands High School. Same as these 2 losers. I'm a farmhand.
Have said that. Probably shouldn't
Who
have
cares?
said that.
Probably shouldn't have.
I hope someone calls in a bomb threat. Wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, but Bert as well. That was a good one, Logan. You made me cry when laughing.
That was a good one. But yeah, I work on a farm.
I work on a farm. What a way to follow up to that. I work on a farm.
It's my profession. He asked me for my credit card number is 555-555-552.
What's your
Okay,
CVC
Robbie.
number on the back of that card? 242?
Yeah, 242.
All right, I was just guessing, but I'm right. That's good.
Okay, Robbie.
Yep.
Now, obviously, you are interested in jazz. I mean, you are in a jazz band.
I
What
am in
started this?
multiple.
You're multiple jazz bands. What about the
Yeah.
Funkheads?
What?
What about the Funkheads?
Yeah, the Funkheads. They're jazz.
Yeah. By the way, I think I wrote this to you on Twitter or to the page or whatever. I volunteer to be the sound engineer and producer on any type of album or project that band wants to put out.
Sick.
As well as I will make music videos for you guys and shit, because that's what I do best.
If we do music videos, it's gonna be like the Duck song because we're stupid.
That's something I could get behind, boys. Okay, second question. Now, how long do you plan on doing jazz?
Well, I want to minor. My original plan for college was major in history and minor in jazz, but I dropped out for a second.
Yeah,
The college that I want to. What?
I said, yeah, you did. You said you dropped out, and I agree with you. I was like, yeah, you did drop out.
Yeah, I did. But the college that I want to go to. The college that I want to go to doesn't offer jazz as a minor, so I'm just going to be a music minor.
What?
It's a very specific thing, and it's usually music colleges that offer it, and it's not necessarily music college that I want to go
What
to.
college is this, if you don't mind?
Malone University.
Long University?
Okay, guys, we have some comments in the
Let's
live
read them.
chat.
Mason just texted me, look at the goddamn chat for fuck's sakes.
I love how. Okay, Logan. Would you
anyway.
like to read them?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Just read them all.
I'm trying to. Okay, Luke, you wrote, shut up. Chuck goes, excuse me, my nigga. My musical preferences come down to old rock songs and the Prototype This theme song. Shut up.
The what?
Caleb.
Oh, the Prototype.
Hey, I like. Then Mason comes in. Hey, I like Prototype This. Chuck goes, I'd personally recommend Gavin McInnes's book, How to Piss in Public. That's literally something I said in class. We'll talk about that in a second. Mason, I haven't seen you forever. How are you, young man? Mason, my mom told me not to talk to you after you told me to inhale your shit. When he told me to suck your cock dry. Chuck says, tell your mom I told you to suck my cock dry. Mason says, please shout me out. I'm your biggest fan. Shout me out or I'll pull a Bert. Chuck goes, you testing my limits, Mr. Baker? I may have to report you to Gomez's office if you keep this up. Chuck, Logan, you said that you're the sound engineer. I can teach you a thing or two about engineering if you'd like. Oh.
Shut up, Caleb.
That's good. All right, Luke, go with your thing, and then we need to talk about what happened in Notre Bernardino.
Anyway,
Okay.
I never got to finish. I want to go to Malone University in Canton, Ohio, I think it is. But so I'm going to minor in music, and I want to be a history teacher, so I'm going to try and teach music on the side.
What made you want to become a history teacher as like your main thing to support yourself?
Because I love history, and teaching history is fun. I don't know.
Now, if you had a choice, who you know how most students, if not all, have to do like 1 year as like what's that thing called where they have to go into a classroom with a teacher and like help
Student teaching?
Yeah.
student teaching.
By the way, update on the chat. Mason writes, that's not Caleb, that's Chuck, you cuck.
Shut up, Mason. We all
Mason's
know
great.
it's
Mason's
Caleb.
awesome. It literally says Chuck Laddo right in the title. Or the name, title.
We discussed this at lunch, Logan. We all know
It's not Caleb.
Well, I don't
Sure,
sit with you guys at lunch, so I wouldn't have discussed this.
okay. Sorry,
Mason
Robbie,
writes
for
Chuck.
generalizing.
Mason writes Chuck the Cuck Laddo. Every time Mason writes something, I feel like I'm gonna have to say it out loud, or else he'll get mad at me. By the way, I just
You
dropped
probably will.
fucking.
Okay. So, Robbie, if you had a choice, where would you want to end up teaching at?
Well, my original choice was Firelands, but then I realized that it's just a crap hole, and they don't treat their new teachers very great.
Ooh, interesting drama. Why do you say that, Robbie?
Well, we've had a new chemistry teacher for like we've had a new world studies. That's what the freshman history thing is.
Yes. World history.
Yeah, we've had a
Modern
new world history teacher for the past 2 years, and then like you guys never got to meet Mr. Rinaldi,
No.
but he quit because he felt isolated and that he wasn't getting paid enough. But I would totally do the student teaching with Mr. Carlock because Mr.
Oh
Carlock
my
is the
God.
best.
Would
Oh,
that not
yes.
be the greatest experience of your life?
It
I
would
ran
be.
into him at
Mr.
I was
Carlock
gonna get
to
a
you.
blowjob at a gay bar, but that's besides the point.
What the
I ran into Mr. Carlock at commencement last year, and I was like, and we were talking. He's like, "So what do you want to do when you get out of high school?" I want to be a history major. Well, what do you want to do with that? I want to teach. And he's like, "Oh, it's too bad I'm retiring soon." It's like, hey, no, you better not retire because I'm going to be
Like-
your student teacher.
Hey, you better not retire because I want to be your student teacher.
Hey, don't make fun of my voice.
That is not even an impression of your voice. That is so not at all what your voice sounds
I know.
like.
My voice is very.
That's not what anyone's voice
tinny.
sounds like.
It's what Chuck Latto's voice sounds like. I'll tell you something.
Mr. Baker?
But anyway, what's another question that you have for me, Luke?
Okay. Now, let's say all of your plans go to absolute shit. What are you gonna do then? Like, what's your plan B?
My fallback plan is to own a music store.
Okay, I can respect that.
Hey, can I
Now, if-
can I jump in for a second? I just
Yeah.
realized I'm wearing
yes,
the
you
same
can.
I'm wearing the same exact T-shirt I did last time.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I
In the,
literally just noticed
thumbnail.
that.
He did not change shirts in the past.
No, for this
week.
past 8 days, I've been wearing this exact same Sublime T-shirt.
Trust me, wait, what?
What do you
Hold
mean?
on, I have
Wait,
to-
what?
Hold on, I have to check something.
In,
Just
in
continue.
number
Look.
7, I wear a Sublime shirt, and I'm wearing the
Subscribe
exact
to
same
us.
Sublime shirt today.
Shout out to
It's
the-
been washed, so don't freak out.
Nah, dude. We all know you live under a rock.
Yeah, I've been to your
You
mom's
can
house.
literally see my bedroom, but I'm at my
I
dad's
know
house
it's a
right
rock.
now doing the stream. You can literally see my bedroom.
Yeah, that's your dad's. I'm talking about your mom's, Logan.
Wait. Mason writes, Nora Berardina said she's had enough of my bullshit today. My meaning, Mason writes, Nora Berardina said she's had enough of your bullshit today, Logan, saying, Mr. Nora Berardina said enough of my bullshit. Then Chuck goes, shut the fuck up, bowl cut cracker faggot, before I beat you with the switch. You're retarded, Welvin hit it. Bullshit made me want to hang myself. All of the 2015-2016 school year. I feel like at this time I need to explain the Nora Berardino situation. As I mentioned earlier, I'm currently reading Ann Coulter's book Treason, Liberal Treachery from the Cold War to the War on Terrorism, and I presented that for my book talk. No, Mrs. Nora Berardino did not like that. She wanted to have a debate with me about the thing. It's just funny because the entire class, she's always been hyping up the book talk as being just a laid-back faggot sort of conversation sort of thing, and here she goes and she wants to debate with me over the book I was reading. Needless to say, I held my own, as I always do in debate. You just saw that with Robbie, and she apparently, according to Mason, has had enough of my bullshit. I cannot stand that lady. I always screw around in her class.
I've hated that lady ever since I had her in.
I never
Sophomore
had
year.
her.
Yeah,
aren't you
are
privileged?
so lucky to be able to say that, Luke.
Freaking privileged white cis male piece of crap.
Oh, you know it. Anyways,
Oh,
what?
you know it.
Okay, so
At least he accepts it.
Logan, explain the Chuck Latto comment. You have to explain that as well.
Chuck Loud is saying, shut the fuck up, bowl cut cracker faggot, before I beat with the switch. You're retarded. Welvin hit it. Bullshit made me want to hang myself all the 2015-2016 school year. Okay, Mason, who's in the chat right now, dude, I thought I just saw a ghost, is notorious for hitting it in
Logan
school.
hit it. Logan hit it.
No. But usually it's a lot louder than that, so teachers
A
and
lot louder.
students here. I'm not very good at it. It's Mason's thing. And Chuck would always, which is our ex-teacher, would always, get super mad whenever anyone made a joke like that. I actually used to run a Twitter called @TheRealChuckLatto.
You
Yeah.
might not want to admit that.
Well, statute of limitations, I already had to
True.
talk to Gomez about that. So I'm completely innocent. Well, there's nothing. I'm not completely. I'm totally not innocent at all. Like I'm so not innocent. It's not even funny.
Yo,
But there's
quick, deep
nothing
throat me a
legally.
mic.
There's nothing. Okay. There's nothing legally that they can do to me about it.
Yeah.
I'm planning on getting a new like the AT 2020 maybe from Audio Technica. That might the AT 2005 I think it is, and that will come with a mic stand, so I won't have to fucking hold up the mic like a
Like a
retard.
Jew.
Yeah.
Like a stuffing chick.
Oh my god, guys! Guess whose phone just died?
Yours?
Yeah, and guess who was just using their phone as part of the stream?
You.
Yeah, so not only is my phone dead, but now the video of the stream is no longer up there. But we're at an hour and 10 minutes already. We're ready, so which means we're already past what we need to do. We're basically right now in the extra credit stage, so.
And I kind of actually want to talk for a little bit more.
Yeah, let's
'cause I
keep
actually
talking. This
enjoy-
is fun.
This is good. I'm not saying we need to stop. I'm just saying that
If we go for 3 hours, I'll be
watching-
fine.
If you're what?
Mason
If
just
you-
said, Chuck, I get the feeling your real name is Josh. Actually, Mason, it's Caleb. Caleb admitted to it at lunch.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
Wouldn't admit to it. When we asked him if it was him, he goes, no.
I got. Chuck replies, I got the feeling that you need to
It
get on
is-
your knees and give me a VJ.
It is
And then
charging.
Mason says, Charger.
What I don't
So,
like about this YouTube chat is whenever like Mason or Chuck will write something, it'll ask me if it wants me to show it. Like why isn't there a way to just automatically show everything? Why do I have to manually do that? Isn't this whole thing about free speech?
I don't
Yeah,
know,
but
isn't
YouTube is not about that life.
He's got a. Hey,
Yo,
do either of you guys have a lunch yesterday?
No, I think we have B.
Yesterday I have B.
You
Yeah,
missed.
I think
You
so.
missed
I think so.
the best fight.
Oh no!
What
no
happened?
shit. What happened?
So you know that Ian DeWitt kid or whatever his name is, Hewlett. I don't
Yeah.
know his last name. You know how he's suspended?
No.
Well, he's suspended.
For
So-
what?
Yeah, for. It wasn't necessarily a fight. There was an argument between a boy and a girl, some edgy teenager, and that Ian, who was also an edgy teenager, Ian called the edgy chick a hoe bag, and she dumped her chocolate milk on him, and he ran out, kicked a garbage can, punched the shit out of some lockers,
Mm-hmm.
and then like came back in to smack smack the edgy chick, but by that time there was already lunch aides swarming the place.
Mm.
That's a good AIDS joke right there.
Sounds
anyway, the,
By the
yeah,
way, I'm laying
that's
in
what
bed
happened.
Right now.
What?
I'm laying in bed right now.
We don't care. We don't need to know that, Logan.
No. Look, Logan.
I mean,
Clothes are
I'm not
completely
wearing
on.
pants right now.
Okay, I'm actually wearing jeans and a t-shirt right now.
So am I.
And socks and underwear.
Me also.
I'm wearing all of that but the pants.
Why not? Why not?
But why? Why ask why?
Mason
Try
Yeah,
by dry.
Mason asks, "How is Tim singing Telegram?" Pretty funny. Tim comes up to us and he's like, "What the fuck was that, you guys?" Like something like that. So
Tim Street.
Tim Kitts.
No.
I don't know the other Tim.
Tim
Then.
pants.
Well, it's. I guess we might as well talk. Well, finish. Are you done with your fight story?
Yeah, I'm done with my fight story.
Okay.
It was kind of shitty, but it's kind of
It-
funny
it,
too.
It was kind of. Oh wait, Chuck wrote something. All I got on me is a bottle of lube and some tissues. No clothes involved. All right. Well, Tim Kitts is. Well, I guess I should explain my history with him. Wait. Luke Oliver writes, "May the Lord bless you, Mason." Okay, I don't know why I'm saying that, but there used to be a thing in middle school that me and John Willis started, which was kind of cringy if you look back on it. Called Gaming Club. Mason writes, "Chuck, you're a crazy guy," and Tim Kitts was a part of it. And one time he like broke some kid's controller, and so Miss Sullivan was like, all right, you have to stay back for the next 10 weeks and put up the chairs. He never did it once. And he's like, it's because I'm autistic, guys. That's why I can't do it. I'm autistic, so I can't put up the chairs. Like, what does that even mean? And so now we sort of just, like, tease him around, and he comes, so one time he walked by our lunch table and was like, I'm gonna bomb you, fuck the piece of dick, you fucking piece of shit.
He
Like
screamed, Allahu Akbar, I'm gonna blow you all up.
And I asked him if he wanted to be on the podcast, and at first he goes like, fuck you, wait, what's a podcast? And I'm like, it's sort of like a talk show thing, and he'd be like, oh my gosh, like, wait, is it a problem if I say something like bumfuck Egypt? I'm like, yeah, it's perfectly fine, it's all about free speech. And I asked him about it the other day. He like, Tim, so when you want to be on the podcast? He goes, fuck you and your podcast. So we may have lost him as a guest.
Who needs him? He's autistic anyway.
I'm gonna see if I can get Meech on.
Meech might be going to jail soon, so I don't know, Logan.
Probably, but if you get Meech on, have me on that day too, so I can.
Why would he be going
talk
to jail?
To the man himself.
Why would he be going to
for
jail?
Assault charges?
Really? I did not hear about this. What happened?
Apparently, some dude broke into his house, shot his dog, and he came after him and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but Meech told me this story, and I just assumed it was, another Meech story.
It probably is just another Meech story.
True. But if he's not there Monday, all week next week, we all know what happened.
All right.
Good point.
But I feel like a sit-down, recorded conversation needs to happen with him. Mason writes, "Who did Meech beat up?" It's probably
some random dude.
If you ask
deep
Meech,
throating your mic, Logan. Jesus Christ!
Am I literally deep throating it?
Yes, like a cactus.
You already made that joke.
Well, not when Robbie was here.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I said, I'm gonna be getting a better situation soon.
You keep on saying that, but Logan, I doubt it's ever gonna happen.
Do you know who you sound like right now?
Who?
The big Mr. Jackson Thomas.
How dare you?
Chuck says, I wish I would have been
something. Chuck writes, I wish I would have been the one to shoot his dog.
It was a puppy, you bastard.
Jesus.
You know what Meech will say if you ask him who's the guy that he beat up? He'll probably be like, some nigger.
He probably would. He probably would say that.
No, he would.
No, he would say that. He would say that.
I just said, he would.
Didn't he wear a shirt that said "White Power" last week or something like that, or 2 weeks ago?
Probably.
Did he?
Probably.
I would have known about it if he did, because whenever something like that happens, like a big meme like that, I am informed very quickly.
Or you didn't know he might be going to jail soon.
He's not going to jail. Mason writes, I ran over a dog last week and left it there.
Okay, Mason, you and I are going to have problems.
Mason can't drive, so what that means is he was running down the street and he ran over the dog and the dog died and he left it there. Oh,
Mason said it was flat.
A message from Chuck Latto is held for review. Mason says it was flat. Chuck says he said that he would beat Floyd Mayweather in a fight because he's nothing but a cocky nigger. Yes, I remember when Meech told me that.
He said that.
Yeah, he said it to me, so I know it's true.
But who can beat the Meech combo?
Exactly. Dude,
true.
Meech would take Floyd Mayweather down.
Logan, you know your camera's working again, right? Oh, never mind. I'm a dumbass. No,
what?
I'm lying.
Are you retarded?
Yes, I was watching the podcast from an hour ago to check what time it is.
Chuck Latto just writes James Osborne in the chat. I don't even know what that means. Who is James Osborne?
The dude who beat Meech up last year.
Oh yeah, I made the Meech.
That doesn't count.
I made the Meech versus James remix, which you can watch on Figures Pictures. Robbie, did you see that?
No, I didn't. I'm gonna have to see that.
Nat Pignatella sent me a video of that fight, so I remixed it and put it on YouTube.
You should have shown it to
it's
Mr.
pretty
Wiley
dope.
for remixing.
I did show it to Mr. Wiley. Or of course I showed it to Mr. Wiley. Are you crazy?
What did he have to say about it?
He's like, Logan, you're a very creative individual. You know what Mr. Wiley said to me one time, which I will never understand why he said this. He said one time he told me, he's like, Logan, you'd make a good teacher. Really? I'd get fired in a month for saying something.
You get fired
in a femtosecond. What are you talking about?
I'm way too punk rock.
Logan, you wouldn't have the patience. Logan, you wouldn't have the patience to get a degree in teaching.
No, I have no plans on going to college or anything like that.
So what are you gonna do? Live in your mom's basement?
Exactly. No, I'm gonna probably go to JVS next year.
Oh yeah, you're only a sophomore. I forgot.
Yeah, and take up carpentry.
Man, why do I hang around with kids? Y'all are so much younger than me.
Wait, are you a senior?
We're like a
Yeah, I'm a senior.
Oh, dude, I didn't even realize it. I thought
Wait,
you were
a senior?
I thought I thought you was a junior.
No, I'm a senior.
You know what?
Well,
Robbie?
we all found out.
I don't know if I've ever said this to you, but you know my older brother Brandon Ramsey.
Yeah, sort of.
He one time he was like he one time brought up your name and he's like there's this kid at school named Robbie and he always like wears the suit to school like all the time.
Yeah.
Cause do you still do that? I haven't really noticed.
Are you stupid? Yes.
Yes, he does.
Well, because
Logan. Yeah, of course.
I usually don't pay attention. I'm just distracted by his wonderful face. Last time I checked, he was sort of in like a business casual type outfit. So I'm thinking maybe he's toning it down. But no, you're not. You still wear a suit. What's that all about? How come? When did you start doing that? Tell us all about it.
Okay, so it starts back in 6th grade. All I wore every day to school, sweatpants and a hoodie. And my dad got really mad at me. So we went to this thing at my great aunt and uncle's church, this clothing drive, and they had suits on the wall for free. And I was just like, maybe I want one of those. That looks pretty nice. So I bought it. Well, I didn't buy it, but I grabbed it.
You got it.
And I got a pair of khaki pants, a white shirt, and a red tie. So I looked like a 50s pastor from the South. I had a light blue suit, khaki pants, a white shirt, and a red tie.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfect. So then one day I just wore it to school, and then I got another suit that next day, and I wore that one to school, and then I started just alternating them, and then this was in 7th grade, though. This started halfway through 7th grade, and then it just stuck. And thankfully, I've learned how to style my clothes. What?
I said that's pretty dope.
It is.
Mason writes in the chat, don't go to JVS. Everyone is going to JVS. There's nobody left. Mason, what I plan on doing is doing like that half-day thing where the first half of the day I do my core classes at Firelands and then do my shop at the JVS. So don't worry, guys. You will not be missing Logan Ramsey. Chuck Ladder writes, sounds like he used to dress like Colin Seth freaking Rollins Wells. Did you used to dress like that?
Yeah.
No,
it was
Colin
gross.
Wells is that he has a hoodie of the Seth freaking Rollins hoodie. That is his version of Jackson's Pokemon League champion hoodie.
You're right.
And he misses every day to go to Cedar Point. Well, it's open.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Who
funny.
does?
Colin.
Colin Wells.
Dude, I'd much rather be at Cedar Point than a public school.
Me too.
But let's be honest here. He's probably going to have to repeat at least 1 year.
Mason,
At least half of it.
Mason writes Colin Walking Dead Wells. That's so true. That's so true.
I don't understand this.
He wears he loves The Walking Dead.
T-shirts and talks about how he likes the show.
Like, that's all he talks about.
Oh
He
no.
must get mad pussy at Cedar
Mason
Point.
writes, remember him from last year. Then Chuck goes, he must get mad pussy at Cedar Point. Oh, you said that. Dude, that's probably why he's sneaking off.
I don't know.
I would.
You've seen
I
his
would.
size, Logan. He actually does have a girlfriend.
He's super big, so when he hugs his girlfriend, she feels super protected. And you know, lots of women like that. That's why they like taller guys. That's why they like muscular guys. They like to feel protected. Colin's size when he hugs you, and I know this because I hug him frequently, it makes you feel protected.
Logan, this is pretty gay.
I don't hug him at all. I promise you, I do not.
Sure.
I
Logan, we
promise.
know you like
Name
getting
one
that
time.
mad.
Name one time I hugged him. One time.
Not yesterday, but Tuesday at lunch.
Did I really?
Yes,
Did
you
I?
did.
No. You're pulling my chin.
No, I'm not. You did, Logan. You actually hugged him at lunch.
Mason writes his in reference to Colin. His religion is Thotism.
Yikes.
Wow. Shit. I thought I was gonna ask you something, dude. I forget what it was. Maybe I already asked it. I don't know.
Well,
Well, what?
You will never know now. Okay.
Well,
what
no.
were we even talking about?
Colin Wells.
Colin-
Seth freaking Rollins. This is starting to remind me of that one podcast we did where I screwed up the stream, so we just streamed for like half an hour afterwards, and I was like laying on bed, like not even knowing what was going on. This is basically what's happening to me right now.
Here, I have an idea of how we can liven things up.
What? Wait,
Okay,
before,
is it-
before that, Mason
Oh,
writes,
wait.
what about that John kid that doesn't do shit in English? Yeah, John, who's dating, who's that chick that Luke wanted to get with? What's her name? Luke?
Oh, that
What's her name?
Jocelyn.
Jocelyn.
Yeah,
Like
I know
2
Justin.
days?
Yeah, they're Highsmith. They're dating each other. And one time, this was during the book talk. You know how I was talking about that? I was reading the Ann Coulter book. My teacher got mad.
Yeah.
During that class, I was looking out the window. I saw them walking to school together with some other kid. I about lost it. Mason was sitting right next to me. I like elbowed him. And was like, dude, look.
Wednesday, when we were waiting at the front of the school to get on the bus to go to the field trip, which I can talk about if you guys want me to.
No.
No, nobody wants to hear about your field trip.
Shut up, Luke.
Christ. Anyways, we saw her walk out. She goes through us, like our little group, and she just little driveway.
You dropped
then-
out there, bud.
She
But okay. In the meantime, Chuck Ladder writes, "What about that Josh Truscott mullet, 4 eyes, mop head faggot that made an account on me?"
I thought that was Davis. Remember him?
No, Davis made an Instagram. Me and you made the Twitter.
What?
Don't worry about it, Robbie.
Me and
Okay.
Luke made a we said this earlier, dude. We literally already said this. Me and Luke made a parody Twitter to Chuck Laddo.
Yeah. Oh, it was Chuck that was saying it. Yeah, okay. Never mind, I got lost for a second. Because I don't pay attention half the time anyway.
I don't know. It's fine. We're about an hour and 30 in right now, guys, which means we have 30. It's really like 26 minutes plus an hour, which means if we get 1 extra credit point every minute, right now we're at like 26 or 27 extra credit points. Which is
I don't even
which
care.
is definitely going to bring us to an A. I'm doing really well in this class, by the way.
I know I am as well.
Which class?
This class. It's really the only one that's keeping my GPA steady.
Same.
You know what Mr. Kearns did? He literally put on my the friggin' Power School, even though it literally says that I have an excused absence from his class today because I had a field trip. But he literally put like my test as a 0 out of 100. So now I have
Mr.
like
Kearns did?
Yeah, so I used to have like a 78 or 71 in his class. Now I have a 58.
Throw hands or a chair.
Oh, Chuck Laddo wants to say something, but the comments being held for review. I don't know. I shouldn't have to do this. Chuck writes, Logan Davis is no better. That milk-hating Beaver boy faggot deserves to be tied up and shot for what he did. Chuck, here's the
Jesus.
thing. Chuck, we're not the only dudes that made fun of you. Literally everyone did. And the ones that you think didn't just did it behind your back. We actually had the gonads to do it in your face and on the internet so they could, find us out. You should be really impressed by it because I used a lot of the things you taught us in STEM to work on those accounts. It's actually not true. It's-
Logan, do you want to talk about that dude who jumped the White House barrier?
Oh, yeah. Luke, you should probably talk about this because this is really interesting.
Okay, basically, an army, a man.
Yeah, explain your connections to the man. Explain your connections to the man.
Wait, what happened?
Let Luke explain.
Okay, there's this man by the name of who's from Kentucky and worked in the army.
By the name of what?
Anyways.
Oh my God, Luke, you're cutting out. What is the dude's name?
Curtis Combs.
Okay, thank you.
My connection to the dude is through the great and only Billy. Anyways.
What?
Billy.
Billy, okay.
But Luke had to go the great and only Billy.
Anyways. On like a Facebook stupid comment thread or whatever. And a girl posted on it saying that her boyfriend worked with him and she tagged the dude. And the dude confirms this. And I'm like, there's no way. So I go through that said dude's profile.
Yeah.
Look for a Curtis Combs. And there's a CTS Combs. I'm like, no way. So I check it out. The CTS Combs worked in the army and is from Kentucky. So I'm like, holy shit, I have a connection to an American hero.
You see, folks, we do some really good journalism on this show. Luke looked at a dude's Facebook profile.
Pretty good.
Multiple profiles.
Would you really call him an American hero?
Not really, but I mean, like,
You just call him an American hero.
You did.
So what do you mean, not really?
Like, I didn't mean seriously, Logan.
Oh, it was in jest. I see.
Yes, it was a jest.
I see.
Mason,
it was only in jest.
Mason says, let's talk about Zach Mullet. Never mind, that's not nice. Who's Zach Mullet?
In 5th grade. Actually, this is...
Oh,
yeah,
let's not go.
Me and this kid... Well, no, I don't know. We owe it to our audience to explain.
What happened?
Zach Mullet was a buddy of mine back in 5th grade. And he got in a fight with another kid one Thursday. And that Friday, he wasn't there because he got suspended.
Yeah.
But then, come around Monday, he wasn't there either. And people were just like, oh, he's probably just staying home because he's upset about, him getting suspended or whatever. So I come home, and my mom goes like, hey, was there anyone that wasn't at school today in your class? And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to the students. I go, yeah, Zach. And she goes, do you know this kid? I'm like, yes, she was in my class, Mom. And I said he's a friend of mine. Like we're buddies. And then she goes, well, she said something to the effect of, well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but he's passed away. I'm like, what? I'm freaking out. I'm like, no, you can't be serious. Go to school the next day. Some lady comes in to talk about us about suicide and all that shit. So Zach, he killed himself, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I know the story. My little sister's only the grade below you, so I heard all about it.
Ooh, who's your... Oh, Jackie, that's your sister, right?
Yeah.
All right. Mason writes, I didn't know you were friends. Yeah, me and him actually were friends. Like, we were pretty close friends. We talked, like, every day. We played fucking card games and shit. Look, we were actually buddies.
Not that stupid BS where people say, oh, yeah, we were friends. We were buddies. We were...
No. A bunch of people will probably tell you that they were friends with Zach just because it gives them, like, special brownie points. We were actually friends.
Yeah.
And shit. You know what I mean? So he's the first person in my life that I was close to that died.
Yeah.
Like, my mom's grandmother died, but I never had
you weren't close to yours.
But when he died, it was like, shit. It really makes you, and the thing has happened at such a young age, and thinking about it now, it makes you really appreciate the people that you know, and the fact that this whole, the time that we have on this planet is limited, and
yeah, It makes you appreciate the little
it's
things.
it's I, whatever. Who's that dude? Sid Vicious. No, not Sid Vicious. Fuck. What's his name? Who's the lead singer of the Sex Pistols? Does anyone know?
I know his name. I don't remember what his. I can't remember it.
Fuck.
I think it was Sid Vicious. Hold on.
Sid Vicious. I'm pretty sure that was the bass player.
I think. No, I think that was because he had the one song that was on Goodfellas.
Oh, fuck it. We need to look this up.
I'm on the case.
All right, you looking this up? Well, he said something to the effect of, "Life is a precious thing, not something to be wasted." Mason writes, "Wow, that was deep." Yeah, I actually do got an IQ sometimes. It just, you know, when it comes.
John Lydon or John Light.
John Lydon. That was his name.
Yeah.
But what was his stage name?
Johnny Rotten.
Johnny Rotten. Johnny Rotten. It's I don't you guys sort of know where I'm trying to go with this, right? It makes you appreciate the people that you know, and
Yeah,
that nothing is to be taken for granted. Like this is all limited. That's what my whole sort of motto has always been. If you see an opportunity, like, take it. You know?
Yeah, I agree.
Gavin McInnes, this is another quote I'll use for this. He said, "It's better to regret something you have done than to regret something you haven't."
Exactly.
I live my life by that. I you know, just thinking about it just now and talking about it, because Mason wrote that in the chat. Mason probably just wrote that as a joke, but it's really making me like this. This is the first time I've ever like seriously like deeply thought about this, and deeply like realized like that that in ways that I haven't really understand until now is really molded who I am as a person. You know,
That's done a bad job. Then holy crap!
That's probably why I'm so fucked up.
No, quit deep throating your mic, Jesus.
I know. Jesus. Luke, can you look at what time we're at right now? Because I'm far too lazy to do so.
We are at
can you say it again?
1 hour and 37 minutes, but like underneath our name on Freezes for Bust, it says started streaming 2 hours ago.
All right. I don't know. Is that a note that we want to leave off on?
I think that's a good note to leave off on. We can pick it up like, I guess, next week.
Whenever. Yeah, whenever. All right, guy. I get. We're done. I guess. Are we done?
Yeah, I think we're done. That's good. That's a good note to end on. I can come back next week.
Before we go, Mason writes, "Don't waste your time hitting it. You won't get anywhere in life." Mason, haven't you capitalized on hitting it? Aren't you making money from this right now? He's actually, people are paying him to hit it. So I think, Mason, you need to take the opportunity. Chuck Ladder writes, hit the bong instead. Ladies and gentlemen, probably mostly just gentlemen. I don't know how many. Are we doing good with the females, Luke? I'll have to look at the YouTube demographics.
I don't think this sort of thing would attract females.
No, this is sort of a guy.
Maybe one or two. I don't know.
Maybe
Logan's mom watches this. I don't know.
Hopefully not. All right. Well, what I'm trying to say, I'm trying to do that stereotypical thing where they all say, "Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in." But I really think this is a very productive podcast. This is our longest one to date. I think our most.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. The longest one's like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Let's beat that right now.
That was a rando stream. That was a rando stream. That wasn't a fucking podcast, Luke. That was just
rando streams don't count as podcasts, yeah. Luke. You should know this by now.
Completely different thing. No, but I'm super glad that we had Robbie on tonight, because he's the first guest that we've actually been able to have a conversation with. You know what I'm saying?
It only took 8 podcasts.
It only took 8 podcasts. But no, I think we've had productive discussion.
We have.
It's all well and good. I'm gonna get up from my bed right now, and I'm gonna go over to my computer so I can end the podcast.
Well, I would just like to
writes,
tell.
I am a female. Mason writes no shit. Robbie, whatever if you want to plug your Twitter or
Uh,
fucking whatever,
my
do
Twitter-
whatever you need.
My Twitter is @creamy_spinach.
All
It's
right.
perfect. Don't tell me to change it. And my Instagram is Bob the Rob Hogan. No spaces, no nothing, no capitals. Yeah, check me out. I post
And-
stupid stuff
and
that
what
probably doesn't need to be
What is the
posted.
Twitter for your band if you want to
My-
start promoting that? Because we're
uh,
working on an album, buddy. It's the entertainment business.
F Heads Official, I think, is what it's called. The underscore between heads and official.
All right. Luke, what's your Twitter? I keep
Capital
forgetting it.
L Luke O 989898.
See why?
Because
His
I
is
was
creamy
bored.
spinach. Mine is at FBLucker64. Luke does not deserve a platform to defend himself, so I'm gonna
Nope.
stop streaming and stop recording.
But wait. I got something to say
Alright,
to the
alright,
viewer base.
All right, go ahead.
So, expect me to be back and expect there to be a lot longer podcasts. I got to tell you that because this is fun. I enjoy this.
Chuck Latto writes at Chuck Latto if you want to follow him.
Nope,
that-
I'm not following Chuck Latto.
Well-
Sorry, bud.
That's his Twitter. I guess I'm about to stop streaming and stop recording.